We pick up.
Well, and we're back. Welcome
Hey,
back to the Real Forno Show.
I had Spectrum Internet. It went boop.
We are looking to place blame here, Dave. We are looking to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, and technology stinks every once in a while, but it is also the benefit of us being able to do this tremendous show for you each and every week. Thank you if you are retuning in. Thank you for doing so. Todd, you're back. Great to see you, sir. We are going to be talking first and lastly about the Detroit Lions. Dave, the line on this game did a nice little flippy-do. Did the aliens return you safely? Oh, that's tremendous. Dan, that's fair. We will give everybody a moment. You know what? I actually said, Dave, that we're not going to blame anybody, but we're going to blame Joseph here because I don't think he took a shot when I asked him to.
Is that it?
I think it's Joseph's fault. So we're gonna roll with that as we let people trickle back in. I can't wait to hear Joseph's commentary here in just a moment. We have some of the best fans in the world, and we appreciate you guys sticking with us here today. All right, we've got some people coming back in. Let's talk about this Lions game. This morning, I wrote up for Vikings Wire. The Vikings were 1-point favorites. So about 9 o'clock in the morning. By 11 o'clock.
Well, last week they were 3-point favorites. They went over the weekend.
And that's objectively fine because you saw a uninspiring performance from the Vikings, and the Lions dominated the Jaguars 40-14. So I'm not necessarily reading into that line changing from prior to Sunday to after Sunday. So I always go by what it opens at after the games. So it was a 1-point Vikings spread, okay? That flippy dude to the Lions being favored by 1 point within 2 hours of me posting that article. Now, here's what can happen. Vegas is interesting. So sharps are expert bettors, okay? When sharps lean super heavy one way, they will influence line movement. So let's say Dave and I are 2 of 100 sharps, okay? We're going to heavy bet the Lions, which is what happened, all right? Then about 80 of our friends also bet really heavy on the Lions. Well, guess what that's going to do to the line? It's going to flippy do it, and it's going to significantly slant. Normally, it doesn't slant this much. If we were a 6-point favorite, it might be down to 5.5 or 5. It wouldn't move 2 points. But because it was essentially a pick 'em from the start, that's why it did the 2-point swing. So you can view it as disrespect, as Cliff kind of mentioned. I think it's a little bit disrespectful. I don't think it's completely disrespectful. The Lions know how to score. They have scored at home this year 36, 35, 31, and 31. Oh, and they've also scored 27. This team can flat out score at home. They've done a great job of it so far. They've won 5 games. This is a good Detroit Lions team, and they are very close to being able to really turn the corner and be a great team. They need another offseason. They need some more help on defense. They need to get healthy on defense. But there's a lot of talent. And I'm going to be honest. The Vikings can lose this game. And I'm not saying they're going to. But the Vikings almost lost to the Lions at US Bank. This is a good team. You're going to have to play a good football game to beat a good team. And some of the key matchups, the first game, Jefferson had 3 catches for 14 yards. The Lions sold out to stop Justin Jefferson. They did everything to stop Justin Jefferson. But now the Vikings have TJ Hawkinson, and this is going to be a revenge game for Hawk. How is Hawk going to do against his former team? What are they going to do to cover him? Are the Vikings going to shift their game plan away from Justin Jefferson, knowing what the Lions did last time? I think the battle between the Vikings weapons and then the Lions coverage is going to be the one to watch. How are they going to attack Jefferson? Is he going to torch them? Because look, their plan was to do everything they can to stop Jefferson, and they also went all out, being super physical, holding at almost every route. Like, hey, we're going to get called for some, but I bet we get a lot less calls than we actually commit. So that that matchup, Dave, is going to be fascinating. As we kind of wrap up here, what are you looking forward to watching the most between these two teams?
Well, I look at it and I don't understand why it's so close. If you look at power rankings, PFF does not like the Lions. They're higher on us on both sides of the ball. Overall, both sides of the ball, Vikings are a better squad. Yes, I like Man Campbell and his antics. It's good. The offense should be good. We'll see Goff this time, unlike last time when we saw a bow. Um, and our defense is going to have their day cut out for them. But I think our offense will take advantage of it. Now, Slade did shut down Jefferson last time, but I think we have, and he may do it again Sunday. But if he does, we're going to beat him in other ways, whether it be Hawkinson, which I think is going to be awful good, or if everybody follows Jefferson this way, you'll see Adam Thielen squared out in the other direction. I think, and it's going to go better. And I even think Dalvin Cook's running better now. So I'm not afraid of Sunday. I don't understand, other than people forcing the line to move, your sharks or sharps forcing the line to move, and Vegas does do that. They want to bring in more money, so they'll wait one side or the other to bring in, a whole bunch of people saying, "No, that ain't true," right? And I'm looking forward to see. I still want to see a whole game by the Vikings, or at least 90% of the game by the Vikings, right? Where they don't go to sleep in the third quarter. I want to see a good third quarter. I want to see a good first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So, and I think this is the perfect opportunity. The Lions, even though they've got a lot of wins, they've been against bad teams. So, I'm looking forward to watching it. It's, Kirk's perfect time, noon on Sunday. I think it's going to be fun, but I think the Vikings are going to come out on top. I think the Lions by one is disrespectful, and I think they're going to use it as such. Players are going to use it as such and go, you got to be kidding me. So we'll see. I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past, but I think they're going to go in there, and this is going to be one of those games we've asked for, where it's done by, the beginning of the third quarter, and we're just on, kickback mode, waiting for the 2-minute warning to go live.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Vikings are going to figure out a way to win this game, and I think they're going to figure out a way to win it comfortably. Now, comfortably is a very relative term, but I think we're going to have a less stressful way to win a football game this week than we have in the previous few weeks. All right. I think the Vikings are going to take control at the end of the game, and they are going to put the nail in the coffin rather than having to wait for the other team to do it themselves. We're going to be previewing it all week on the Real Forno Show. I have a puppy that is crying out for me, wanting to get some pets. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for jumping back onto the second stream after Joseph inexplicably ruined the first one. I'm absolutely kidding. It was not Joseph's fault, but he's a great sport. And
I chalk it up to
great
Spectrum.
Listener.
I monitor our internet, and our internet went bam, and that's what cut it. Sorry, folks.
Well,
we all can't have optical fiber to and from like Fios. When I had it in Virginia, God, that was the best internet service I ever had. Or, believe it or not, there's an internet service in a town in Iowa where the town came together and they brought in their own system. And rather than 1,000 gigs down and 1,000 gigs up, it's 10,000 down and 10,000 up. And you can do anything on that thing. But I'm in Texas, and of course, you got a choice between two companies, and that's it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in Delano, Minnesota, and we have about the same thing, so I'm with you.
Yeah, it's the way politics works.
Yeah. To my knowledge, Dave, we have a full slate this week, correct? And
yes,
we have a programming adjustment for next week, as the Vikings will be playing on Saturday afternoon, and
which ruins two old bloggers. Yep.
Will we be having a rescheduled 2 old bloggers for that
Yes,
week?
we will on that one. This week, we have Vikings Happy Hour on Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central. They are live from Lake Monster Brewing. Boys down at Lake Monster, our beer partner, good beer partner, Matt and his gang brew some fantastic beers. If you want to go down there and watch Matt, Miles, Ryan, and whoever else they have come along, could be some folks we know, join them there, drink beer. There'll be giveaways, beer, merch. Everything will be wild, and we'll have a good time. Thursday night, we have the great Flip Mozzie and Eric Thompson of the Daily Norseman and Viking Hot Takes. And as they look, they'll have their 6 questions, and they like the Thursday better because they can, do a little bit over this last weekend on questions, and a whole bunch looking towards the Lions. They'll have that. Then Saturday at 4 Central, we'll have 2 bloggers. Darren and I will break down the Lions game with the kiddies even more. We'll look at the numbers. We'll look at who's playing, etc., etc. I might get into a piece. I started taking a whole boatload of notes today on player concussions. As we know, Caleb Evans had his 2nd concussion on Sunday.
And he was already ruled out for Sunday, Dave.
And he's ruled out. I want to see some rule changes. In particular, I would like to see if a player has a concussion that they automatically get a helmet upgrade. And there are helmets that are better on concussions than other helmets. And there are helmets designed for linemen and helmets designed for people with speed that is a little bit lighter. But they're both good at concussion protocol. And there's a few helmets that stand out of the crowd. I would like to see that because I want to protect these guys and let their careers be long, and that they don't have to deal with CTE issues or concussion issues that we did back in the day, or still do. And I get brain fog every once in a while because of it. But I'm doing research on that. That may be part of it. We'll see. There is Sunday, we have the game. Of course, we go live in the final 2 minutes with the final score. You can join us there. Hopefully I'll remember to unmute my microphone, unlike last week, but that was fun. We had a good post-game show. And then we start the week all over. But on that following week, because the Vikings are going to be playing the Colts, that game got moved to Saturday, which is awesome because it means it's going to be on live TV for me and no lag. And then
primetime noon Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. So we're not going to have the normal 2 bloggers on Saturday. We'll have the final score on that Saturday. And then we'll bump 2 bloggers to Sunday and do a post-game breakdown of that one in the way Darren and I only can. So, and boom. I didn't want to do that. There you go. But that's it. That's what we've got in the lineup. It's busy, full, and I want to thank everybody for watching. And of course, what do we say?
Does too. Well, Odie's eating my feet, so we're going to say it quickly. Skol Vikings, everyone.
Skol Vikings. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and rate us on your favorite aggregator. And a special shout out goes to our partners, the Daily Norseman, where the best Vikings content can be found, and to Lake Monster Brewing, home of the best beer in Minnesota. Skol, everybody.